Molweni, manene na manenekazi. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Goeiemiddag, dames en heren. Welcome to the 2022 autumn graduation season of Nelson Mandela University. Over 12 days, today being day 11, we have celebrated the success of over 7,000 graduates, including 51 doctorates, in what is only our second mask-to-mask graduation season to be hosted in person on campus since the global coronavirus pandemic rocked the world over 2 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, this alone is a reason to celebrate. However, as you will appreciate, we have to celebrate within the COVID-19 prevention and compliance protocols, which is why we are socially distanced, we are wearing our masks, and have limited our numbers and spread them over 23 graduation ceremonies. Apart from adhering to the COVID-19 protocols that you have just heard, please could we request the following: that you please rise as the academic procession enters the hall and remain standing till after the moment of silence, and again at the end of the ceremony after the singing of the national anthem as the academic procession leaves the hall. That you please ensure that your cell phones are on silent. We do, however, encourage you to tweet, Instagram, using the hashtag MandelaGrad. And please tell your friends and family who could not join you today, they can watch you cross the stage from our YouTube channel, as the event is being streamed live. That you please do not leave the hall during the proceedings for the respect of all our graduates and their families, as you will attest they have worked very hard to get here. That you please wear your mask throughout the ceremony. Your safety is our priority, so please comply with this and other COVID-19 prevention measures. Please note that in an event of a power failure or load shedding, we do have a standby generator. It usually starts within minutes. Please remain seated. We trust that you'll enjoy this ceremony with us, and a hearty word of congratulations to all the graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, we request that you please join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. Please be seated.
Good afternoon. It's a beautiful day outside, and I'm sure it's going to be as beautiful a day inside as we celebrate this graduation ceremony. By virtue of the powers vested in me as Acting Vice-Chancellor of the Nelson Mandela University, I hereby constitute this congregation for the purpose of awarding qualifications. On behalf of our Chancellor, our Chair of Council, and our Vice-Chancellor, Professor Mutwe, it is indeed a great honor and privilege to welcome you all to this joyous, penultimate graduation ceremony of our autumn season at Nelson Mandela University. Other than welcoming those who are present in this venue, I would also like to welcome those who are participating virtually via live streaming. I'd also particularly like to welcome and acknowledge my senior management colleagues that are with us, the executive deans of faculties, especially the acting executive dean of the Faculty of Engineering, the Built Environment and Technology, Professor Darrell van Grienen, who will be presiding over things this afternoon. I'd like to welcome our SRC member, who's been the flag bearer, my esteemed academic colleagues and colleagues from the support side of the university as well. But most importantly, I want to welcome our graduandi sitting in front of me over here, and the parents, guardians, loved ones, and friends of our graduating students. Today is a truly significant, joyful day for our graduates. On behalf of our Chancellor, our Council, the Vice-Chancellor, Senate, and indeed the entire university community, we are deeply proud of you, our graduates. In sharing a few words today, I particularly want to direct them to our graduates and to focus especially on the theme of joy. I do so as I have been struck during our graduation ceremonies by the outpouring of joy by our graduates, their families and friends, and the joy shown by academics as they see a master's or doctoral student that they've supervised graduating, or a student that excelled, or even a student who had a tough journey to reach their destination of graduating. And in fact, as I watch the graduates walk across the stage, now and then they pick out one of their lecturers that they can see and acknowledge them. While we are joyful that in-person graduation ceremonies are possible again after a lapse of 2 years, it is true that our smiles of joy are hidden behind our face masks today. But nonetheless, we can feel and see the joy in the air. And just a little reminder to our graduates that when you come across the stage, sometimes when you're standing up here next to the acting executive dean, you take your face mask off so that you can get a photo without a face mask, which is fine, but if you can just put your face masks back on again before you walk across the stage. Because remember that COVID-19 regulations still say that indoors we should have our masks on. I'd like to draw on a quote from each of 3 exceptional leaders around joy and determination, starting with Mahatma Gandhi, who once said, "Joy lies in the fight, in the attempt, in the suffering involved, not in the victory itself." And what a fight you had to put up, graduates, to adapt so that you could navigate your studies during the coronavirus pandemic, which disrupted learning and teaching in our physical spaces on campus and exacerbated the socioeconomic challenges we are facing in our country and indeed across the globe. Thinking back to 2 years ago in March and April 2020, we had absolutely no idea how deeply the coronavirus pandemic would affect and change every aspect of our lives. Sadly, how many lives we would lose, and also how long the virus would endure. And as you know, it continues to endure, which is why we follow the regulations in our ceremonies, but also we are carefully watching the potential start of the 5th wave. I think back to how quickly students and staff adapted to online learning, teaching, and research. At the start, we were all very anxious about how on earth we were going to do this. Thank you to students and academics for being brave enough to attempt something completely new, for hanging in there when you felt quite overwhelmed by everything that was coming at you, and for persevering through the myriad of challenges that you experienced. Some brought about by the pandemic, others because of load shedding, which remains with us today, extended power outages, and on our George campus, we experienced floods that washed away part of the access road to the campus. And so it could go on. There were just so many challenges that you and the university faced in trying to complete the last 2 academic years. The past 2 years, though, have shown how adaptable and resilient you and the university can be in response to whatever comes our way. You endured and triumphed, and we are now about to joyfully celebrate together the successful conclusion of your qualification under extraordinary difficult circumstances. I salute our graduates and staff for this remarkable achievement. In the process, you might not know this, you have been part of making history and setting new records. For example, we finished the 2020 academic year and completed the entire 2021 academic year in 1 calendar year, with most of our learning and teaching work being done online. Quite remarkable, and I'm sure very tiring. As students, you were probably quite tired at the end of last year, and I'm sure the staff were as well. I know I was. But the fact that you knuckled down and got those 2 years completed meant that we now can get our academic calendar back to normal again, starting in February, ending in November in a year, for example. We, in the process, had to learn how to adapt our venues. I'm sure you've all been in some of our labs where we've had to space students out, or you've been in mask-to-mask classes. We had to figure out how to do that. We had to figure out campus entrance procedures, how to do experiential learning in mask-to-mask settings, and also how to do both online assessment but also mask-to-mask assessment. We've become so good at this that we've actually forgotten just how remarkable the changes are that we had to do at very short notice. We battled through the various coronavirus waves, learned how to quarantine classes and residences, which was quite a learning experience. Some of you in residence might remember when a whole residence was quarantined. And we adapted our time frames and academic activities accordingly as we toggled between changing lockdown levels and the degree of online and on-campus activities. Quite remarkable what we had to do. Despite the difficulties and challenges, during our autumn graduation ceremonies, well in excess of 7,000 students in total will receive their qualifications. Now listen to this, which is more than the number of graduates in the 2020 academic year, as well as in the 2019 academic year, when life was more normal and pandemic-free. So quite an amazing achievement to have graduated more students in the 2021 academic year. The other remarkable thing about the learning and teaching work done in our faculties by academics and our students is that our success rates in 2020 and 2021 were 5 percentage points higher than in 2019. Now, we would have expected there was a good chance the success rates would drop because of the difficult circumstances that we found ourselves in. But you knuckled down and you worked very hard, and it shows in that our success rates increased to the point now where they're just above the national benchmark for the higher education sector. What an extraordinary achievement under pandemic circumstances. As a student-centric university, we focus on the holistic development of our students. Thus, we are very proud that during the pandemic, our students achieved more than academic success. We did some surveys, but also chatted to some students, and here's a few things that they told me. Even though they found learning to be hard and challenging, they personally grew tremendously. For example, they learned how to work towards goals, be flexible, use technology to learn and not just for social purposes, and they displayed resilience in tough moments. Most of all, our students say that they learned how to pace themselves and take responsibility for their learning. This is a wonderful life skill that our graduates have acquired, as you need to continue to learn and grow in your work environments and personal lives, and you now have the confidence to take charge of figuring out what and how you need to learn to continue to realize your potential. As Nelson Mandela said, once a person is determined to help themselves, there is nothing that can stop them. You were determined to make a success of your studies, so you took responsibility for this, and you achieved your goal of graduating. Be as determined to make a success of your life. I'm also confident that even in pandemic times, we have succeeded in shaping you, our graduates, into socially conscious, compassionate, responsible, ethical professionals, leaders, and citizens who are now prepared for life and the world of work. We salute all our graduates. Congratulations. Please join me in applauding and paying tribute to our graduates. Someone once said that joy is the simplest form of gratitude. As you display your joy when you walk across the stage today, and I know some of you will wave and some of you will do a little dance for joy and so on, and that's fine. So as you display your joy and you celebrate afterwards, remember to show your gratitude to those who have taught and supported you. Let's pay tribute and gratitude to our academic and support staff for their hard work, commitment, and adaptability as they rose to the challenge of keeping the academic project going in completely different ways during the past 2 years. Join me in applauding them. We also know that your journey to graduation has been made possible through the support, encouragement, care, and generosity of your family, friends, communities, and loved ones. I salute all of you for the role that you have played in assisting and enabling our graduates to reach this remarkable milestone in their life journey. Let's give them a good round of applause as well. As I move to close, in our quest of living up to our motto of changing the world, we continue to seek various ways as a university to be a force for good. In this regard, the late Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu said, "Ultimately, the greatest joy is when we seek to do good for others." And on another occasion, he said, "Do your little bit of good where you are. It's little bits of good put together that overwhelm the world." As you cross the stage today, please reflect with joy and pride about how far you have come since you started your studies. Then, make a personal commitment as Nelson Mandela University graduates to in turn be change agents, leaders, citizens who give back to society by pushing the frontiers of knowledge and by applying knowledge in ways that contribute to a more sustainable, prosperous, just, and peaceful future for all. In so doing, You will change the world, bit by bit, through bringing joy and happiness to others. But for today, you have every reason to be proud of and joyful about your remarkable achievement. Congratulations on your graduation, and thank you for having chosen Mandela University as your alma mater. Thank you. Give our choir a round of applause. We shall now, honoured guests, proceed with the awarding of qualifications, and I now request the candidates to take up their positions. I request the Acting Executive Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, the Built Environment and Technology, Professor Darrell van Krienen, to present the candidates for their respective qualifications.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I request you to award the higher certificates and diplomas and confer the bachelor's degrees on the candidates who have completed their respective qualifications during the past academic year, whereafter I shall present to you the candidates receiving their qualifications in presentia.
I award the higher certificates and diplomas and confer the bachelor's degrees as requested.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, candidates for the higher certificate in information technology in user support services. Sive Pentele. Asenati Bokwana. Onkarabetse Como. Rietumetse Kobeli. Sichle Libi. Funzani Mabalani. Sipelele Ndlozini. Aluluto Mpukwana. Mkumana Msumpela. Sipesihle Nikani. Notando Nyawo. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, candidates for the Diploma Information Technology. Simone Apollos. Liema Betela. Lutando Bongobi. Miranda Busakwe. Lilita Chakwe. Simamkele Trakiso. Apelele Tengemo. Lutando Damani. Zandile Dushu. Siyakudumisa Fihlani. Lusanda Fula. Simvuyele Gede. Tembela Kotolo. Nombulelu Gqeberha. Tsepo Jacobs. Thank you. Thank you. Ajola Jikijela. Asavela Jekwana. Nezile Jona. Popina Kumanda. Clinton Kuris. Tembelani Kuslana. Didintle Letlape. Salanati Mabandla. Mtimkulu Madlanga, Yamkela Maduna, Sipo Majali, Annelisa Makana, Melisizwe Makapela, Kolisa Makinani, Sesetu Malima, Bulela Mankai, Esihle Makokolo, Tamsanka Masango, Sake Mavumengwana, thank you. Nkosinati Mazantsana, Aviwe Badlanglanya, Ayabonga Ndlankomo, Lusindiso Ndodana, Mahlubandile Meleni, Yonela Gqeberha, Analo Ngoti, Sandile Mkwaba, Imkita Macha, Lindisipo Mlenzane, Asitandile Moltino,
It's Ting Ting Ne.
Ting Ting Moruri, Nosipo Nkobongo, Blessing Mukefo, Zipuzetu Nyataza, Onela Ndamase, Lukolo Njumbu, Zizipo Zenkosi Ngai, Asemahle Ngutwa, Abongile Ngibe, Luyanda Ngwenya, Piwakushle Njikelana, Ntabiseng Nchebe, Odwa Nchoko, Mpendulo Ntsimbi, Lubabalo Pini, Asemahle Koma, Jean Raymond Rabi, Asanda Khalo, Sipelele Saineti, Senzelwe Sindisa, Lupumlo Siziba, Siposotqolo Slate. Ulwando Thomas. Nomatamsanqa Tilese. Isake Tobo. Sunette Fontaine. Bulelani Folofu. Karen Williams. Pumla Yaso. Ntsika Yekani. Loyiso Zako. Sibulele Zanzi. Kamvelichle Mlenze. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, the diploma is awarded cum laude to the following candidates. Robin Bremer, cum laude. David Clark, cum laude. Atenkosi Gonga, cum laude. Nompumelelo Pansi, cum laude. Razan Reuters, cum laude. Christian Venter, cum laude. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, candidates for the degree Bachelor of Technology, Information Technology. Nhlanhla Lupuwana. Sibusiso Mabasa. Ntikayomzi Maqetuka. Yonela Makama. Kwayita Kayenke. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, this concludes the awarding of qualifications in the Faculty of Engineering, the Built Environment and Technology, School of Information Technology.
We will be concluding shortly, but we're just going to wait for all our graduates to be back in the hall before we do so. So just a couple of minutes of patience and maybe we can get a bit of music. As we draw this graduation to its close, on behalf of the congregation, I wish to thank all our graduates, parents, and other guests for their interest in the university and for their presence at this graduation ceremony. And thank you so much for applauding our graduates to such an extent. It just showed them that you cared for them and that you were happy with them, that they'd achieved their qualification. I also wish to thank our academic and support staff, along with the performers, for their respective contributions. In particular, I want to single out our administrative staff. They've had to arrange 26 graduation ceremonies, this being the 25th of them, and they've done an amazing job over a long period of time now to actually organize an event such as this. Please join me in giving them a hand. And now to our graduates, and you really are graduates now. You've got that certificate in your hand, you've got your hood on and your cap. So when I was speaking to you earlier, you weren't quite graduates yet. Now you are. And it's such a lovely sight to see you sitting down with all your robes on, but I'd like you to stand up because we're going to acknowledge you for one last time. Please stand. Just stay standing, and I just want to remind you of a few things as we send you out into the world. At Nelson Mandela University, we strive to change the world. And the events of 2020 and 2021 gave you first-hand experience of just how quickly the world can change. As graduates, you have risen to all that 2021 brought to the fore. You have demonstrated that with commitment, will, and determination, success is possible. I wish all our graduates well as you journey forth to wherever the next phase of your life path takes you. I trust that you will retain an identity that clearly defines you as a graduate of Nelson Mandela University. As you set out to change the world, remember that you can do so by doing little bits of good wherever you find yourself and by bringing joy to others in the process. One more hand for our graduates. By virtue of the powers vested in me as acting Vice-Chancellor of the University, I now declare this congregation dissolved. I request the congregation to stand and join in for the singing of the national anthem and to remain standing while the academic procession leaves the hall.
Nkosi sikeleli Afrika maluphakanyisa uphondo lwayo iva imithandazo yethu Nkosi sikelela thina lusapho lwayo Murena buluka setshaba sa Jesu uferise dintwali matshwenyeho sibuluke setshaba sa Jesu setshaba sa South Africa, South Africa. 80 blow van ons hemel, 80 diepte van ons hemel. Oor ons weggebergtes, vir die grondse antwoord gee. Sounds the call to come together, and united we shall stand.